but we were out and about working, and we did a little musical practice.
So we're sweaty and hot, and I don't know, kind of stink good, but
yeah, we still smell pretty good. I smell like cherry blossom, Japanese cherry blossom.
There you go.
From Bath and Body Works.
So, what's up?
We are coming on here to letting you know that we're going to be a little bit more active.
A lot more active than what we've been. Our lives have just been chaotic at best. But we're cleaning up our lives and getting focused and organized together.
It's just different energies, different period. So a lot more is being cultivated in different avenues and aspects of our life.
Creativity is bursting out the seams. That's like creativity.
Basically, we're busy.
We're super busy, but we want to share busyness with you. We want to bring it to you for the few that care.
So there are going to be some topics of conversation that we want to like kind of open up. And at the same time, we're probably going to throw a little, tidbit here and there and how you can add to your own magical practice. Just a little bit of sharing.
Kind of like picking your brain too. Like I'm really fascinated to know other people's, what you guys do, how you guys found things. I mean, was your calling at a young age like ours was, or did it come later on in life? I mean, I don't know. Bouncing topics and ideas off each other, concepts. I mean, there's so much out there, and there's no definitive answer for anything. So topics are, endless.
Just we want to be able to actually produce something tangible for you guys. I mean, I came on here a long time ago with my sister. We started doing the whole YouTube thing, and I think at first, we're having fun with it, and we're just kind of like toying around and talking some shit here and there. But we're actually really pretty serious people.
I should talk a lot, but it's not anything I would never say to anybody's face. It's pretty much, I just say what I think. I have no filter. So when we are discussing things, and I swear a lot, it's not like I'm trying to offend anybody. It's just my mind works too fast for my mouth sometimes. So we're not trying to shit talk like to offend people. We just give our opinions and we don't hold back our opinions. There you go.
We're looking at the reality of the situation.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, like you can't get mad for that.
We're not into the sugarcoating, which a lot I notice is a lot, and I get that. We don't want to upset anybody in this day and age, but I don't mind ruffling feathers if I have something to say.
I guess we should just probably let this be our first video, because I know she had like something she wanted to talk about earlier. when we were...
No, I was just, Facebook has grown in the last few years, and it's kind of like nowadays people that, I don't know, I guess we're all Christianed out. Everybody's changing, and I don't know if it's because of American Horror Story or because Sabrina the Teenage Witch,
which is good. I like,
and it's a good show. It's a good show,
but
it's not. Come on, if you know what's up, you know what's up. But it's just kind of, I notice a lot of people. I don't know if it's just how to spot a fake witch, I guess, or how to spot somebody that is full of shit. I don't know.
A lot of it too is because in the last 15 years, especially with YouTube and
the regurgitation we're talking about.
Yes, a lot of it's become a lot more diluted than it already was. So every time we're watching a video or we're seeing something in some kind of magical group, you guys need to really learn something other than honey jars.
Expand your horizons. Experiment. Experiment.
And you can't use a candle for everything. Candles won't fix everything.
Oh, yes. And they help, okay? They help with other work. But, yeah, I mean, to solely rely on that would be failure, I guess you would say.
It's fun, and it's artistic, and it gives you the opportunity to really practice on visualizing something in a solid form with the aids of, color and whatever, but
those are just representations anyways,
But on a more magical level, like morals and ethics aside, let's see what you can do other than that. What shit you can get into, and me personally, I practice witchcraft and magic for the sake of magic, not because I'm trying to be one with the goddess or anything. Which, like, I acknowledge and
I respect the divine feminine energy and I believe the universe as a whole. You know what I mean? That to me would be.
And if she want to join forces, like, I'm not opposed to that, but at the same time, we're still our own separate beings.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
And I don't want people to think that we're trying to sound pompous or anything.
No, when I work with, like, Santa Marta, when I work with her, I'm exchanging energy with her, but I am not her devotee. Like, I am not constantly, like, praying to her. Not that that's bad, but I feel like me and her have a really close friendship where there's an exchange, you know what I mean? And she is there for me, you know, but at the same time, I can work with other energies and it not be offensive to her, if you would say that, you know what I mean? Because I know sometimes other people have another avenue they go to, but, you know, I guess it's because I do feel I'm my own god, so I don't necessarily have to bow to anybody or anything, but I can befriend and share. Does that make sense?
I think it's still, a lot of it is the relationship that they form with you personally, because not everybody has the same relationship.
And some gods won't like you, and goddesses won't like you, and some will. Like, the energies will, I don't know, go good with you, some won't.
I think a lot of it too with you, that you have such a strong connection with her because you can see yourself in her. You know, when you study and you read about the culture and that type of energy.
And it ties in.
And it's like, oh, I like you, you like me, let's work together. You know? And then there are some instances where I know, like with her, when you are suffering or when you're feeling pain, the gods hear that.
Oh yeah, they do.
And when you're crying out to them because you are suffering, you have to understand that they hear that and that pain. And when you make that, I'm coming to you for help. It's a sign of devotion. And so then she puts her arms around you and you form this maternal, motherly relationship. Energy. And that's not like, oh my God.
That's not worshiping like the way you would, I guess, like Jesus Christ.
But it's still like being in that presence of what's divinity. It's because, like, you know, when you're a baby and your mother is like God, you know, like, it's like you don't know your child, your baby, so it's not like you're.
They say,
you know what I'm saying?
God is the name, of the mom or whatever on the child's lips. You know what I mean? Because that's what they know. That's a protector. That's before they even know what the concept of God is. You know. So yeah, most definitely.
So that's something we're going to be talking about a lot more. And I've seen this one YouTube channel. I forgot her name. And I watched some of her videos, but she has a lot of videos on Santa Muerte. And they're in English. And I can tell, like, she's had a prior background in magic. And she's new to the Santa Muerte, but like, she has a lot of good information. I don't know if you checked her out.
I have not checked her out.
I forgot her name.
I don't watch YouTube a whole lot. I work a lot, so and have all kinds of things, so I don't get to watch that much. But I plan to you know, devote time to that. So, you know, I mean, I'm hoping that we can do that, and the people that we learn to respect and admire with channels, maybe we can, like, do something cross.
I have something I wanted to talk about. Okay. When I see, like, white people...
Oh, here we go.
In, like, fucking England, Europe, or whatever, like, trying to be devotees to the Santa Muerte. And I'm not saying that they can't.
It's an equivalent to you Nordic people who hate that Mexicans want to play with runes and stuff. It's the same kind of thing, I guess.
But another thing is like, your ancestors, for most of them, have taken pride in their lineage, and you turning your back on your ancestors for a culture that you're just interested in, it could be dangerous, especially if your ancestors decide that they're going to turn their back on you.
Just be careful. Don't stop giving honors to your other, you know, gods, goddesses, or whatnot. But no, I get what you're saying. And I get that because we're fascinated with things that are different than ours. So I understand, you know what I mean, the fascination with that. And it's been like the last, I'd say, 10 years where it's really been popping, you know. But yeah, I get what my sister's saying. I see that point of view too, because I see it a lot. and I'm interested to know who they know that's Mexican or like Hispanic, like, but whatever. I mean, to each other. Fuck it.
You know what? So did you have anything you wanted to bring up now or in later videos?
I have things I want to discuss in later videos. So I'm not gonna talk about them now because I kind of want to structure them out. But one I want to talk about are occult films, because I've been watching a lot of occult films lately, a lot of horror, but they have a lot of good information in them, and I think a lot of people just don't even bother because of horror. So I want to talk about that, and I do want to talk about magic and music, and the importance of sound in your magic. So I have topics that I find are important that I want to bring, and I know my sister does too. They might not be topics that are like, I don't know, people are looking for, but I find them interesting. Another thing is psychedelics and magic. I have been doing a ton of psychedelics. I don't care what people say. You're gonna tell me it's bad, it's wrong, whatever. I've been doing DMT, mushrooms. And I've had a lot of interactions with interdimensional beings and such, and I want to see how many more people have had these experiences. So I have a lot of things I want to talk about in kind of that arena. My sister has things herself she wants to talk about too.
A lot of times I focus a lot more on the psychology behind witches. Not the psychology of witchcraft, but like the psychology of, magical practitioners, because I have noticed that we are all almost similarly wired, so I have certain curiosities. So sometimes I want to know, what's it like for a person who is not magical dating somebody who is magical?
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Like, what's that like for you guys? Like,
it's gotta suck, huh?
I'm like, okay. And so when you got with one of us, I'm asking my exes too, if you ever watch this, like, did you believe in it when we first got into it? And then what changed? If it did change for you, did you start to believe in it? Did anything shift in your thinking, or do you still think it's dumb? Like. What about things like what I want to know what you're thinking about? Have you ever been embarrassed by it before? I'm curious.
I will say this: my ex-husband, believes like I'm a goddess here on this earth, and he comes to me for readings, he comes to me for advice. When people fuck with him, he'll be like, "You better watch it, my ex-wife will fuck you up," and like. But my point is, he has like some reverence for me, and we've been divorced for a long time, and we had our ups and downs, but he has always seen me like that. Same with Chris, with my magic, with Santa Muerte, the same kind of thing, and you've had that same kind of thing. So I'm wondering, like, there are of course some men that don't like it, but there are some men that are like, you know what I mean? And I know you've had that happen too. So how many more of you women have had this, where after it was all said and done, you were still, I don't know, they saw you in a very, like, in a good light, not in a bad way, you know what I mean?
And that's what we're going to talk about
next time, so think about it, bitches.
Bye, you guys.